Thing that he could have done there. He did exactly what he needed to do, Randy, and somebody behind him just wasn't really paying attention too well and got him turned around. So I was expecting that car of Dylan Fox to have a good run here tonight, but he'll have to do it from the rear. He's still got 46 laps to do it, though. He's not out of it yet.
Yep, and like we said, we've seen cars come from the back here tonight, and in this championship. Well, let's see what we can make happen. This time, Evan C. in the 33. It was pretty much a picture-perfect start from him. Let's see if he can do it again with the 00 of Kendall Tucker now will be the car on the outside of him. Green flag's back out, coming to lap number 5 of 50.
Yeah, Evan C. leads the field in the 1 and 2, almost 3 wide for leaders, and Hauser gets into the side of C. Dylan Hauser is not making any friends here tonight at the Eldora Speedway. He's looking for the slider for the race lead at turn number 3. Dylan Hauser at the racetrack. He's your new leader. Evan C. turns it back down to the inside, but Hauser will lead on lap number 6.
Great move from Dylan to pick that spot up at the 33. Dylan Hauser gets tied on the cushion once again, and Evan C. is going to take that spot right back. If you're going to throw the sliders, you have to be able to roll the top. And that 2 car seems to be struggling up there through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. He's a little bit more hooked up. Now the 00 of Kendall Tucker. Can he make it 2 and 1? Yes, he can. But they're going to both get back underneath them as they work down the back straightaway. Great move from the most eligible bachelor we have on iRacing.
2 for the price of 1 sail down to 1 and 2, and Kendall Tucker putting on a show right now as Hauser and C now make contact for the race lead. Kendall Tucker's right there as well as his teammate, the 44 plate Cannon. Hauser's in the wall again. Here comes the 00 down to the inside. Will he throw another slider at him? He will try to, but Hauser's through the middle, so Tucker tries to run the bottom right there. Good battle going on for the second spot. They're side by side down the front straightaway.
Side by side for second, and they're formed up 2 by 2 by 2, 3 rows deep behind. I see a number of cars back in this fight. The 004 is in there, Kevin Dedman's in there, Alex Bergeron, Casey Kerwin, even the likes of James Edens and Blake Brown behind. This entire train of cars still formed up 2 by 2, now 3 wide with Dedman, Kerwin, and Bergeron. Going through towards your mid-pack, the 12 car trying to fight his way through on the outside as C's starting to open up a gap out front.
Yeah, I'm watching Casey Kerwin right now in the 14 car. He's the only guy in the field really running around the inside wall, and it's working for him right now. He puts the move on the 308 of Kevin Dedman, and Kerwin's now up to about the 7 spot. He's really slow rolling that bottom of the racetrack. There's a lot of moisture down there right now, and it's working for him. He's going to try and go to work onto the 12 car of Alex Bergeron now. But your leader, Evan C., through the middle of the track, is running a completely different line than the rest of these guys as they're all up on the top of the racetrack. So Evan C. looks like he's got something figured out as Hauser tags the wall, and he's trying to track him down right now. Last time by, Hauser was a 10th faster than your leader, and the yellow's out.
Yellow's out here on the racetrack. Let's see what may have caused this one. I see Shad Prescott. He's involved in another incident. Been a rough night for him here tonight. See through the slider on the 22 of Brown and Proudfoot, and well, just didn't quite get clear. And in some ways, I think Brandon maybe could have lifted out a little bit there, but the 41 just got up into the 22 car. I think maybe those guys just misjudged it because it was just sort of hard enough a tap to send that 41 car around. But that's our second sort of light contact we've seen here tonight that's resulted in not major damage for anyone, but the yellow getting called.
Yeah, a tough run there for Shad Prescott, man. I think he's fast enough to run at the front of these fields, but he kind of has some bad luck, and there's the replay right there, man. He got hit real hard from behind there by that 22 car. Brandon Proudfoot turned him around real quick, so tough break there for for the 41 of Prescott. But how about the battle up front, man? We've had a couple different leaders. I think Evan C's led just about every lap except for the one that Hauser led. But Kendall Tucker, I talked to him after the race last week, Randy, and he said that I don't know why, I think he's a big Chase Rodman fan, man. He wants to go out here and he wants to put on a show, man. He loves it when I get excited about these races, and he loves it when, he makes the big moves like that. He told me that he wants to be one of the superstars in this series. He wants to be making big moves and making some fans out here and making those headlines. So Kendall Tucker's doing just that when he slid in front of 2 cars there to take the lead for a moment.
Well, it makes sense to me. I can understand why everyone would be a Chase Rodman fan rather than a Rady Chenoweth fan. Everyone's always dreamt about seeing their name in lights. No one's ever dreamed about hearing their name in lisp as the field works their way down the back straightaway. The 33 of Evan C. will be in command of the field once again. Keep an eye on that 3rd row as well. The 044 of Tyler Schell and Alex Bergeron. Those 2 were fast, and they were aggressive with one another towards the tail end of that run. Green flag getting ready to fly once again. The top 6 have all been aggressive. We are back to racing here at Eldora.
Here comes Kendall Tucker, another slider for the lead up across the nose. Oh, C stays in the gas. They make contact. C's into the wall. Tucker's into the wall, and your leader is now Dylan Hauser. A big change of events there in turns 1 and 2.
Oh, and look at this. They're 7 wide in the mid-pack. Look at what's going on here as they work down your front straightaway. And I see, is that the 52 of Edens? The 12 of Bergeron's involved, but they keep it straight.
Is this bumper cars, or are these the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings late models on iRacing.com? It is hard to tell. Somehow, there's guys running off each other all over the place, and we stay green. There's still 3 wide back in the mid-pack, but we go back up front. Your leader is the 2-car of Dylan Hauser. Second spot is Kendall Tucker. And third, under pressure from the 004 of Tyler Schell. The third spot right now is still Evan C. And Kevin Dedman rounds out your top 5.
Tyler Schell trying to hold off that charging car of Kevin Dedman. We saw Kevin last week. He started a little bit deep, ran his way up onto the podium. We see the 14 of Casey Kerwin. He's trying to do something similar. Can't quite get up the inside of Kevin Dedman in that 308, but still trying to make things work as the 044 Tyler Schell. He hooks up the top of the 33, and he's just about got that spot done.
Randy, let's turn our attention up front. The 00 of Kendall Tucker has tracked down your leader, Dylan Hauser. There's only a car length separating your top 2. And like I said, Tucker, he's not afraid to throw the move on these guys. We're going to wait and see if he throws a slider here momentarily. But right now, he is close enough to make the move. And if Dylan Hauser puts it in the wall like he's done several times tonight, Tucker's going to be right there to pounce on him, as the top 2 have pulled away quite a bit now from the third place car of Tyler Schell.
Mid-pack still aggressive. I see 3 and 4 wide through the mid-pack. I think the 12 of Bergeron is involved in that. Even the 127 of Matulos, he's involved in this fight. He's currently worked his way up towards 13th, as still the 00 of Kendall Tucker trying to keep Dylan Hauser honest. They're both right up against the outside wall. That bottom line has really fallen off here, Chase, and it's become a very top-dominant racetrack.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys were expecting that to happen come the latter stages of this main event here. And it is on the concrete wall here at Eldora Speedway like we've seen in real life on several occasions. Kendall Tucker, another big run. Here comes the slider for the lead. Tucker down across the racetrack. He goes in front of Dylan Hauser. Hauser back down to the inside. And it's going to be a replay of what we saw at Limeland possibly, Randy, as Tucker's going to do it once again in 3 and 4.
Back up the inside of the 2-car Hauser. Dylan was in the wall, running the top in 3 and 4, but still able to get it back down to the bottom, as we're going to be halfway in this main event here. Next time through here is Kendall Tucker. Oh, the 2 of Hauser makes a mistake on the top, and Kendall Tucker not able to capitalize, gets into the back of him.
Yeah, he got into the back of him, and it's going to cost him a little bit of ground now as he falls 2 car lengths behind Hauser. The battle for third wages on as the yellow's out. Kevin Dedman, your third place car, is into the wall, but the yellow's out. I'm not sure who it's for.
Bergeron's in this.
Wow.
Alex Bergeron, front clip, heavily damaged. We saw him have what was a relatively clean season in the sprint cars. A lot of people saying Alex had tremendous luck with his ability to get through the mid-pack. And, well, the 12 of Bergeron, he gets into the 51 of Matt McKinney. That sort of starts a chain reaction. The 127 gets this into the 77, who then turns up into Alex. And then a huge, huge pile of cars there up on the outside of the racetrack. So that's going to have championship implications with the 12 getting big damage in that one. And as damaged as that front clip is, yeah, Bergeron's even coming down on towards pit road. That could have been potentially a night-ending incident, as that car is crabbing all over the place.
Yeah, I think that will be the end of the night for Alex Bergeron. Actually, he's going to pull back out of the pit area, so Bergeron's going to continue on. But you know, with only 20 laps to go and a destroyed race car, I don't think we'll be seeing him up towards the top 10 of this race. So, man, huge implications here. The guys up front running for this championship are extremely excited right now, licking their chops, hoping to gain some points on them, which they definitely will here. So, like we said, man, Bergeron only came in with a 3-point advantage in the championship coming into this race. So, big implications coming into this one.
So the field works the way around the racetrack here. The lights are still on the safety truck, even though the field is, for the most part, getting themselves formed up. They should be going to the 1-to-go signal. But just refreshing your guys' memory on the point standings, Alex was leading with 3, as Chase just said. The 44 Blake Cannon, he came into the race second in the points, 3 points back. He currently runs in that 6th position. The 33 of Evan C., where has he gone? He started this race on the pole. He currently runs 7th, so will still make up good points on your championship leader in the 12. You also have the 127 of Blake Matulis. Not been a great run for him. He started this race in 19th, still up 5, but of course involved in that incident as well, as the field is going to be getting themselves formed up, getting a late command from race control that is going to be single file. I think they waited a little bit till the last second on that, Chase. It was no secret that the field was forming up too wide, so we'll get this caution extended here as these guys will get single filed out. We'll be back to green next time around.
Yeah, race director deeming that a lot of contact's been happening here with these double file restarts, so we will change it to single file, which is nothing that we haven't seen in real life before. I've seen it on several occasions, so a good call there by the iRacing.com race director here to put these guys single file and try to keep this contact down. We've had 3 cautions here in the first 30 laps or so, so hopefully this will kind of control that a little bit, as Dylan Hauser will lead the field off turn 4 this time by back to the green flag with 20 to go. Kendall Tucker second, Kevin Dedman right now in third, Tyler Schell and Casey Kerwan right now your top 5.
So field forms up. We're back to green flag racing. 20-lap run to this checkered flag. Let's see if they can keep it green. The 0-0 and the 2 both up top. Maybe a little bit of contact between Kendall Tucker and Dylan Hauser, but they keep it straight. Diamonding off the corner is that 0-0 just a little bit. And up top, the 0-0 trying to form it up. Hauser's into the wall.
Hauser's into the wall. That might open the door here for Kendall Tucker. He's not going to make the move right there. He's going to wait for that 2 car to make another mistake before he makes the move. Hauser tags the wall again right there, but is able to keep the car. Oh, Blake Cannon, it sounds like.
Blake Cannon. Yeah, Blake Cannon, big flighter. He attempted to throw on Tyler Schell. He got into the outside wall. Did Tyler in the 44. Blake Cannon slid right up into him, nearly got turned. And now the 44 and the 33, they're going to fight for 5th and 6th.
Yeah, how about the 14 now? Casey Kerwan, with all that contact, has made his way into the 3rd spot, looking for his first career World of Outlaws podium here tonight at the Eldora Speedway. And once again, man, he is down on the bottom of the racetrack, running the concrete down there, and it is working for him. He ran it down in 3 and 4. He goes to the top in 1 and 2. So it looks like Kerwan has found something on the bottom in turns 3 and 4, and he's tracking down your top 2, it looks like.
Kendall Tucker, he notices it, and he's going to try running that bottom groove as Casey Kerwin. What a run it's been for the driver of that 14 car. He's always been good. He's been fun to watch through the heats. We saw him in the sprint cars as well, but he's just never had the sort of pace that one might expect from one of the drivers in your eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing series. And now that 14 car, he's on for a podium run, and still running down the bottom is Casey Kerwin, and down this front straightaway, now in towards 1 and 2. He's going to go back up to the top, as does the 0-0 of Kendall Tucker.
Yeah, great job by Kerwan so far. 3 wide behind those guys for about the 7th spot. Zach Leon Hardy's there. The 33 of Evan Seeger, early race leaders there, as well as the 74 car of Adam Elby. Adam Elby's down that bottom of the racetrack as well, making some headway. 24 car Zach Leon Hardy up top. The 51 car of Matt McKinney's just behind him, as well as the 044 of Tyler Schell. A good battle right there. At least 5 cars involved for that 7th spot.
A huge gaggle of cars here. The 51 of McKinney gets set up the racetrack a little bit, sliding through the slick, able to maintain that nicely though as they work their way through the mid-pack. Evan C. still in this fight on the bottom. The 74 of LB's down there. Chad Prescott involved in this fight as well. Evans trying to get ahead of that 24 Zach Leonardi, but Zach having them out, that momentum up top is paying off in dividends for him, as looking, just maintaining an eye on the gaps out front. It's still the 2 of Hauser who's opening up the gap every single lap at the head of this field. Is Eden. He's trying to fight with that 24 Leonardi, and he's got the spot.
Yeah, James Eden's up to the 6th position right now in the 52 car, running around the bottom of the racetrack as well. Definitely 2 groups of racing have developed here. Right around the bottom and right on the top of the racetrack. Blake Cannon, he's trying a slider line up there in the 5th spot. Car number 44 trying to put a move on Kevin Dedman. Wasn't able to make the move there, and he loses some ground to that number 308 car. As the top 3 have really pulled away from the rest of the field. Actually, it's the top 2, and then a gap back to the 14 of Kerwan, and then another gap back to the 4th place car of Dedman.
These guys still forming up 2 by 2 here, the 24 and the 52. Really one of the few fights we have on the racetrack just behind them. A little bit of fight between the 33, the 41, and the 74. Also fanning out 3 wide. I see the 127 of Blake Matulos in that one, the 044 of Tyler Schell, and the 51 of Matt McKinney. They were 3 wide for a moment. They get it formed up 2 by 2 as they go back to the top of the racetrack through the 044 and 127. The 51 of McKinney will tag the back of that little group, and he'll get to the top as well. They all slide the bottom through 3 and 4. McKinney gets in there 4 wide ahead of these guys. The 33 of Evan C., the 41 of Chad Prescott in this fight. James Eden is involved as well.
And a great rebound for Chad Prescott, who was involved in an early race incident. He's made his way back up to the 8th spot on car number 41. So Prescott, he was down, but he's not out. He comes to the outside now, James Eden. So Chad Prescott, a late race charge. He's looking for the 7th spot around James Eden's. Eden slides in front of him. Prescott back down to the inside. He's going to have 7th down the backstretch.
What a move there from Prescott to pick that spot up down the 52 of Edens. He's going to try to fight back on the bottom. Seems to be a bit of a bottom line, forming up through 3 and 4. The 1 and 2 still seeming like you want to be up near the top side of the racetrack as everyone's right up against the wall. You might slide down to the middle on the exit. 5 laps to go this time. And Blake Cannon, he's going to run the top in 3 and 4 as most of everyone else starting to migrate down to that moisture in the middle and the bottom.
Yeah, you see these guys, they enter in on the cushion, they run it through the middle, and then they drop it down to that moisture on the bottom of the racetrack, and it's getting them a good run down the straightaways. I think Shad Prescott's really showing us what that's like right now, as he's drove through this field from the back up to 7th, and is now all over the back of the 24 car, last year's champion with this series, Zach Leon Hardy. Shad Prescott, man, he might be the best car on the racetrack, but he's just not close enough, and he's running out of laps here with just 3 to go.
3 laps to go this time through. Shad Prescott, a little bit of contact with the 24 that time. In towards turn 3, you see the 44 as well of Blake Cannon. He's up on that top groove as well. 3 laps remaining here at El Toro, and the 44 Blake Cannon, he's in the wall, but he still maintains pace. One of Austin Carr in the background. He's going to slide. Who was that? It was the 52 of James Edens, but that doesn't work out as he finds himself finding the wall. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm looking at back up at the front of the field right now. It looks like Kendall Tucker, last time by, he was a little bit faster than Dylan Hauser, but the white flag's coming out. He's got to hope for a big mistake here from that 2 car of Hauser. Off turn number 4 down the front straightaway. White flag's out for Hauser. He looks to the outside of the lap car. Brandon Proudfoot puts him 1 lap down. No problems there. Can Kendall Tucker put a corner together here and track him down with just 2 left-hand corners to go? It's not going to happen. It looks like we're going to have our 4th different winner in 4 races with the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series. Dylan Hauser wins tonight at the Eldora Speedway. 2nd to Kendall Tucker. 3rd will go to Casey Kerwan on a great run in that 14 car.
This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Race fans, you wanted the best? You've got them. Live on DirtVision.com. Presented by Dry D. The World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. The World of Outlaws, Morton Buildings Late Models. Knoxville Raceway and the Knoxville Nationals. And the Dirt Cars Summer Nationals are all available live. Sprint Car and Late Model Fast Passes are available now for just $39 a month, with single event subscriptions available as well. From Volusia to Charlotte, Fairbury to Lernerville, Eldora to Macon, and everywhere in between. Dirt Vision has you covered all season long. Every race, live, anywhere, anytime. Don't be left in the dust. Sign up for Dirt Vision today.
It seems like it was just yesterday that we kicked off the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model iRacing Championship Series, and tonight we will cross the halfway threshold as we return to where we started the season at Volusia Speedway Park down here in Barberville, Florida. Randy Chineth, Chase Rodman, and Hugo Louis will be bringing you all the action as 29 of the best dirt super late model drivers on the iRacing service take action around this place. And Chase, it's been a fantastic championship thus far. Points still very, very close, very competitive. A stark contrast to what we saw in the sprint cars, which is basically just the Bergeron breakaway from about round number 3.
Yeah, and also we've had, this is the 5th race of the season. We've had 4 different winners in the first 4 races, and I think that we've got a great shot tonight of adding another first-time winner in this series to make it 5 in a row to open up the season, which is just incredible. It just goes to show how tough the competition here is in the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series here on iRacing.com. So there's been a couple guys that have been running up front every single week, but just haven't quite gotten that first win, and maybe that'll be maybe tonight will be their night.
The time for hot laps has come to a close, and time trials are currently running as we take a look at your point standings as we have up on screen. And it's currently Blake Cannon with a 14-point lead over Kendall Tucker, who sits in second, Evan C. and Bergeron in third and fourth, with Blake Matulis rounding out that top five. 42 points separating the top five and your top six, all within 50 points. And we have to talk about it. Last week's winner, Dylan Hauser, see him currently sixth in the points. Some controversial passes last week, made some contact both in his heat races as well as in the future. He will not be racing tonight. He has been parked by race control for a single week. He will be coming back to racing when we come back next week for round number 6. So that's going to be really difficult for him in the points chase. Only 10 races. He's only going to get 9 goes at this now, and it's going to be really difficult to really throw an entire race out points-wise and be able to make that up. That could be the end of his championship already.
Yeah, he's really got to pray for the guys behind him to have a bad night, as well as the guys in front of him, which is going to be pretty hard to do. So you can almost write off Hauser as one of the championship favorites here tonight. You know, and that's why I kind of said that we're going to have a good chance of having another first-time winner. Hauser obviously not here tonight. The guy that won the very first race here at Volusia earlier in the year is not here tonight as well. So we really only got 2 winners in the series that are here tonight. So I'm really expecting to see that 5th different winner on the series as we continue. Oh, actually, we're into qualifying now. Right now, Shad Prescott at the top of the speed charts with a 16.590.
Currently sits at quick time. Randall Carter not far back, only about 100th off. Garrett Robinson about another 100th of a second back as well. We're about halfway through the qualifying session. Evan C., he just went out and put down his 2 qualifying laps. One of your championship front runners. He does not put in a great qualifying time right there. The 007 of Jacob Fields, the Elite 7 racing car. He's screaming down the back straightaway and in towards turns 3 and 4. This is going to be his second hot lap. Currently slowest of the cars that have returned times, and second trip around the racetrack. Does he improve? Yes, he does, but not by much. He'll pick up a couple spots out there on the racetrack. Blake Matulis, one of the drivers that's been phenomenal to watch thus far, and he's currently on the racetrack as well. He sits about mid-pack at a 16.696. Second attempt, will he improve? No, he drops off to a 7.51. Track seemingly getting slower as laps get put in, but Dylan Fox, he's taking pole position in the 999 with a 16.554.
Yeah, how about a couple guys in the top 5 of the point standings? Blake Majulis and Evan C. right now, they are at the bottom, of the pylon, the scoring pylon here in qualifying. So could be some opportunity here for some of these guys that are in the back half of the top 10 to close it in the point standings just after qualifying. Like you said, Dylan Fox right now at the top of the speed charts. We've still got about 5 drivers left to turn times. It's Fox, Shad Prescott, Kendall Tucker came in tonight second in the point standings. He jumped to the 3rd quick. Then it's Randall Carter and Garrett Robinson right now, the top 5 in qualifying.
12 of Alex Bergeron out there right now. He has yet to put in a qualifying time, and he'll gonna have to do it here in the closing moment. 30 seconds as he comes to the end of lap number 1 for him. First time, 16.621. That's gonna put him just outside of the top 5, and let's see if he can improve this time. Through corners number 1 and 2, down the back straightaway, goes the Nuobi number 12, driven by Alex Bergeron. Tries the top side through 3 and 4 this time. He ran the bottom on the first lap, comes off the shelf, and down the front straightaway, he will go to a 17.051, so he will not improve. And we have everyone else, I believe, having laps logged. I don't see anyone who's really on hot laps at the moment, so it's going to be the 999 of Dylan Fox, who at the halfway point of the season will be the quick time runner here tonight, and he will be on the pole for your first heat race as well. And let's go down the starting grid for this first heat race while we're at it. Dylan Fox on pole position with Garrett Robinson starting on the outside of that front row. Howard Weaver's back, and he's going to be rolling off P3 in heat race number 1 with Virgil Graham on the outside of that second row. Blake Brown and Adam Elby on road number 3 with one of the drivers that was fantastic to watch last week at Eldora. Casey Kerwin rolls off 7th with Justin Thompson on the outside of him on that 4th and final row. And let's do a quick review of the format in case we have any new viewers here tonight. You're going to see 4 heat races. They're going to be split up amongst all the qualifiers here. The top 4 from each heat will go to the main event a little bit later on tonight. The drivers that do not transfer will be sorted into one of 2 last chance qualifiers. The top 2 in each last chance qualifier, they transfer to the main event at the end here tonight. And then you have the 50 lap feature race, which is where, of course, prize money and points is really where the bulk of that is getting awarded. But a pretty stacked first heat race. Good to see Howard Weaver back, and really excited to see what that 14 can do. I think Casey may have figured something out at Eldora. We just need to see if he can carry that momentum here into Volusia.
Yeah, he doesn't have a very good qualifying run at all tonight, but he even mentioned that last week in his interview after the races that he needs to work on his qualifying efforts, and I don't think he worked too hard the couple days since that last race, because he goes out there and doesn't put down a very good lap. Starts 7th here in this race for this heat race. So Casey's got a little bit of work ahead of him here. But Dylan Fox, Garrett Robinson, man, we got a couple guys that we don't really get to talk about a whole lot starting up front in this heat race. And how about this, Randy? I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but Blake Cannon, our championship points leader, he qualified 27th out of 29 cars here tonight. So Blake Cannon, man, that's huge right there.
And Dylan Fox, he comes into this 9th in the points, 177 points. He's about 106 points back from the championship points leaders, but with people maybe not qualifying well, I don't think Kendall Tucker put in particularly impressive qualifying effort. Oh no, he qualified 3rd, so apologies about that. But if he can put in a good effort here tonight, take the pole position, maybe win this heat race, set himself up for the future, he might be able to start rebounding and be able to make a second half of the season charge, perhaps to get relevant in this championship. Once again, $25,000 on the line for all of these guys. You win the championship as well. You get flown out for the victory banquet for the World of Outlaws at the end of the year, and the chance to wheel a Clint Boyer super late model at the dirt track at Charlotte. Alex Bergeron, he already gets to wheel a sprint car with Christopher Bell, but still looking to see who can wheel one of these late models. Pace truck comes off of pit road. The 999 of Dylan Fox gets on it. We are green at Volusia.
Already going to work on that 3rd spot. It's the 07 of Howard Weaver down to the inside of Virgil Graham with the 74 of Adam Elby just behind that 42 car Graham as they work down the backstretch. Up front, Dylan Fox already pulling out to a 2 or 3 car length advantage. There goes Weaver down to the inside of the 97 car Garrett Robinson for the 2nd spot. Robinson into the wall right there down the front straightaway.
07 of Howard Weaver going to nose out in front through corners number 1 and 2. Maybe a little bit of a tap and moving Robinson up the racetrack, but Howard trying to slot his way in towards that 2nd spot through 3 and 4. Back in the background, side by side as well. Another little touch from the 07 of Howard Weaver, and he's going to get physical and make that move on the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Now, suddenly Garrett has himself trying to stay off the bubble as the 42 of Virgil Graham is there. Look at that in the background. 3 wide. Oh, Casey Kerwin. He gets into the 77 of Blake Brown, and Adam Elby gets tangled in that as well. They'll all keep it straight, but the 14, he's now trying to get into that bubble spot and into the top 4.
Yeah, the 77's not happy with him. Gets into the left rear tire right there. They're still beating doors down the back straightaway. Somehow Kerwin hangs on to it. They really don't lose a whole lot of ground in the transfer spot right now as Virgil Graham slides in front of the 97 of Robinson. That's going to open up the door. Oh, they make contact. There goes Kerwin around the outside, and Casey Kerwin from 7th up to almost the 3rd spot here off turn number 2.
Trying to get there right now with the 14 is at the head of the field. Your top 2 have really separated themselves. These 3 cars all fighting for the last 2 transfer spots. It's the 42 and the 14 who currently hold it. Look at the 77 of Blake Brown trying to make this 3 wide as they roll through 1 and 2. 3 laps to go in the opening heat race.
Yeah, and I don't think the 77 of Brown's going to be too nice with that 14 car Kerwin after that contact that put him 3 wide and got him up into Adam Elby, but somehow Brown was able to get back from that accident and get back up here on the back bumper of Casey Kerwin. They continue to go side by side. Kerwin a little bit sideways entering turn 1 right there. That opens the door for the 77 of Blake Brown. They work down the backstretch for the penultimate time off turn number 4. The 999 of Dylan Fox will see the white flag.
White flag this time for heat race number 1. Dylan Fox and Howard Weaver, they're comfortable at the head of the field. But what's going to happen for these last 2 transfer spots? Casey Kerwin still on the outside of the 77 of Blake Brown. Blake trying to make something happen here in towards 3 and 4 for the final time. Fox and Weaver, they're going to transfer easily. What'll happen here, though? The 42 of Virgil Graham is going to run a little bit up the racetrack, and for the 14 of Kerwin, it's going to be Kerchu as he starts deep in this heat race, and he will transfer directly to the main event, and he's going to be happy with that one. Blake Brown, Justin Thompson, Adam Elby, and Garrett Robinson, however, they're going to be a little bit frustrated after the opening heat. They will all have to run through the LCQ, and Robinson, I think, is going to be the one chase who's really frustrated with that. Started that heat race in 2nd spot, and he winds up dead last. That's not a great way. He started his night relatively well in qualifying. The heat race luck just didn't carry through.
Absolutely not, man. But how about the drive by the 14 of Kerwin, man? He did exactly what he needed to do right there. These heat races, especially the first one, man, the track really still has a lot of moisture and it makes it hard to pass, and he started deep. And Casey Kerwin, man, you got to be aggressive in these heat races, especially when you start that deep in the field, and he did exactly that. I mean, he ruffled a little bit of feathers there, but I don't think he really made a whole lot of he didn't really do a whole lot of damage. He might have got up into him a little bit, roughed him up, but he did exactly what he needed to do to transfer into that feature event.
So let's take a peek now at your second heat race as they get the cars formed up. It's going to be Shad Prescott who put in second quickest time in qualifying. He will start at the head of the field with the 12 of Alex Bergeron on the outside of that front row. Nick Cooper and James Edens will make up row number 2, with Tyler Schell and Phil Diaz on row 3, with Brian Wayant Jr. rounding out the 7-car field for this opening heat race. And that 88 car in the back here, Chase, he looked pretty quick out at Eldora in the Reignition Esport car. Just didn't quite have the luck to really put things together, did Brian Wayant Jr. Might be able to put something here together here tonight at Volusia, but qualifying not going his way. He qualified deep in the field once again.
Yeah, Brian's got to do what Casey Kerwan did there in heat race number 1. Got to make some moves. Got to be making some moves, not faking some moves here in this heat race. So the guy I'm going to be watching, though, is the 044 of Tyler Schell. Last week was running in the 3rd spot about midway through the race at Eldora, and then got into a crash about midway through that race, and so he did not have the finish he deserved there. So Tyler Schell on these last couple of weeks has been putting in some solid runs, and he might have himself a shot at a transfer spot here.
Chad Prescott, 11 in the points, will find himself alongside Alex Bergeron, who sits 4th in the points, and of course the sprint car champion from this year, and one of the cars we're really watching to see if he can be the first on the iRacing service ever to win 2 world championships in a single season, and he's done well thus far to keep himself in the running. The 41 of Chad Prescott, though, in charge of the field this time off of turn number 4, and the pace truck will let him loose. We are green for heat race number 2, and Bergeron's going to try to stick it there on the outside, but can't quite do it. He's going to cut back down to the bottom.
Here comes the 52 car. James Edens around the outside. They're 3 wide for the 3rd spot down the backstretch. There goes Tyler Schell, gets into the side of Nick Cooper entering turn number 3. Edens gets tight, washes up the racetrack. As that's going on, the 12 car of Alex Bergeron takes the lead, and he'll lead lap number 1.
There's a little bit of a touch between Alex and Tyler Schell as they are, Chad Prescott. As they ran through there, the 35 of Nick Cooper, he gets into Chad Prescott, and look at the 044. I think Chase Rodman provides some good luck as Tyler Schell started in 5th. He finds his way up into 2nd. Now the 35 and the 41, they want through, but he's going to block the lane. The 35 down to the bottom for 3rd. They're 3 abreast behind.
Yeah, 3 wide between the 41 of Prescott, the 52 of Edens, and the 88 car of Wayant Jr. Now Wayant gets into the back of Edens. That's going to shove him down in the corner a little bit farther. He almost runs up into the side of the 41 car. Prescott, they do make contact off turn 4, and at the line give the transfer to Edens, who puts the 41 on the fence right there. Now the 88's into the side of him. A whole lot of beating and banging going around for that final transfer spot.
How about 4 wide down the back straightaway in towards turn 3? Are they going to keep this together? They're trying not to. Contact as they enter, but they'll all keep it pointed straight, and 4 wide again as they come off number 4. A little bit more contact as they get themselves single filed out 2 by 2. The 88 and Brian Wayant Jr. currently in the transfer spot. Chad Prescott up top, currently trying to get himself into the bubble behind the 52 and the 94. They're still fighting. They're going to go 3 wide off the 4 this time.
How about this? 2 heat races in a row. The guy that started 7th on the grid is now found himself into a transfer spot. First it was Casey Kerwan, now it's Brian Wayant Jr., and he's actually pulling away right now from the 41 of Prescott. So, man, maybe that 7th starting spot's a little bit lucky here tonight, Randy. As we work off the bottom of turn number 4, we've got 2 laps to go in this one.
No love lost between James Edens and Phil Diaz. They make a little bit of contact through 3 and 4, and that's going to shuffle them well down the running order, and that's going to green light Chad Prescott to really send this in Brian Wayant Jr. The fight for 2nd, by the way, is close. Tyler Schell has been reeled in by Nick Cooper just a little bit, but I think Nick is likely to play this one safe on this final lap of heat race number 2 in towards 3 and 4 for the final time, and Prescott does not have the space he needs on the 88 of Brian Wayant Jr. off of 4 this time. It'll be Bergeron, Schell, Cooper, and Wayant. Those 4 will be going to the feature event.
Yeah, Chad Prescott will miss out on it, as well as the 94 car Phil Diaz and the 52 car James Edens. Those 3 guys will be placed in one of 2 B main events a little bit later on tonight, which is going to be a whole lot of chaos for 2 transfer spots as heat race number 3 is about to get gridded.
Heat race number 3, let's take a peek at the starting grid for this one. 3rd quickest time of the night, came in 3rd in points, is Kendall Tucker on the pole position for this heat, with Steven Wilson lining up on the outside of that front row. Zach Leonardi and Austin Stellman on row number 2, Blake Matulis and Jacob Field on row 3, with Blake Cannon perhaps the car to watch in this heat race. Blake has been, I don't think there's been a single race we've had here, Chase, where going into the feature, there's not been a chance that 44 car could come away with win, but he looks well off the pace here today here at Volusia, and he's going to be starting deep here in this heat, and things aren't going to go very well for him. But the problem he has, he's got a stacked heat out in front of him. He's got Kendall Tucker in this one, defending series champion Zach Leonardi's in this one. Austin Selman can be quite quick more often than not. Blake Matulis is in here, the 007 of Jacob Fields. If you're the 44 Blake Cannon, position number 7 has been lucky, It may take a bit of luck to get yourself into that top 4 in heat race number 3.
That's what I was going to say, man. He's starting 7th. You're putting all this bad juju on him, but that 7th starting spot so far has been pretty incredible. So we'll see what Cannon can do. I'm pretty sure the last time that we ran here at Volusia Speedway Park, Cannon was in the top 5 at the end of the 50-lap main event. So he definitely knows how to get around this place pretty well. He's obviously the championship points leader, so he definitely knows his way to victory lane. We saw that at Limeland Motorsports Park. Blake Cannon, I'm definitely going to be having one eye on him and one eye at the front of the field here in this one.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one to watch, and this racetrack tonight at Volusia has been really racy, a little bit of contact, but haven't seen much of the hard sort of sending people that we saw out at Eldora, but a lot more light taps to make passes here tonight, as the pace truck will take them around for their second of their 2 observation laps before we go racing here in heat race number 3. Zach Leonardi in the 24, defending series champion. He's not had the sort of year that a defending champion would like to have coming into this thing. He sits a little bit deeper into the points than I think he'd love to at 8th, about 100 points off your points leader, but still potentially in it. Is the 00 of Kendall Tucker. He will be the one bringing us to green flag here in just a moment when that iRacing official pace truck peels down on towards pit road, and he waits, and the 00 gets on it. We are green for heat race number 3.
Not a very good start at the back of the field for Blake Cannon. He's going to let these guys kind of duke it out a little bit, see what happens. Maybe, play his strategy out a little bit here, let these guys wreck each other a little bit, then he can make his way to the front. They're side by side from 2nd through 5th right now. Kendall Tucker shows the way. On the bottom in spot number 2 is the 24 car, Zach Leon Hardy. He works to the inside of Steven Wilson, and a side-by-side battle. Nope, the 127 now. Blake Majulis clears the 18 of Austin Selman for the 4th spot.
That's going to move Austin outside of the transfer position he started in, is in towards 3 and 4, still side by side. 4 second in, the Zach Leonardi trying to get there as they come off turn 4. I think he'll nose ahead, and at the line, he will just come up short of having that position, but through 1 and 2, he's going to slide up the racetrack in front of Steven Wilson. Steven, instead of lifting the throttle, he cuts it to the bottom. As a 24 Leonardi, he seems to want the middle, but the 32 gets a great run off the bottom, and look who's there lurking in the background. 127 Batulis started 5th, and he wants to get his way up into 3rd.
Yeah, they're 3 wide down the back straightaway for the 2nd spot. Little contact between the 127 and the 32 car. More contact as they enter turn number 3. Still 3 wide for the 2nd spot as the 18 of Selman and the 007 of Jacob Fields lie just behind them. More contact down the front stretch. How do they hang on to that one, Randy?
No idea, but Selman and Field are going to be licking their chops as they come off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. The 32 Wilson, little bit of a bump to the 127 of Matulis as we're coming to the end of lap number 5. The 24 Leonardi gets hooked by the 127. Look at 007 of Jacob Fields. He's going to get a run on the 24, but not quite going to be able to get there. Blake Matulis has started this race in 5th, and he currently runs 2nd, coming to 2 laps to go, nearly 3 wide into turn 3 once again. The 007 of Jacob Fields, he's going to find a gap, and we're going to be 3 abreast with 2 to go.
The 007 trying to get a little banana splitty right there, if you will, Randy. Tried to go through the middle of the 32 and the 24 car, but didn't work right there. He's still in the, he's in the 5th spot. I thought he was in the transfer. He's battling for the transfer spot with that 24 car, Leon Hardy, the 32 of Wilson, and the 18 of Selman. Don't take him out of this fight yet. The white flag's out. Who's it going to be next time around, Randy?
44 Cannon in the background as well. If these guys tangle, he could get the luck that we've seen that 7th starting position have here tonight. 3 and 4 for the final time. The 32 to the bottom. The 24 goes up top. The 007 going to try to split the gap once again, but off of turn 4, who's it going to be at the line? I think Leonardi just held on to it, and indeed he did by 16 thousandths of a second. Zach Leonardi will transfer, and Jacob Fields will have to go through the LCQ. Your top 7 running order in that one: Kendall Tucker, Blake Matulis, Steven Wilson, and Zach Leonardi. Those are the 4 drivers that'll transfer here with Jacob Fields, Austin Stemmelman, and Blake Cannon. They will have to run through the last chance qualifier. 3 heat races in Chase. We've not seen this track really single file out at all. This track is perfect for side-by-side racing right now.
And it's only going to get a little bit better and better here as it starts to slick off a little bit more. Heat race number 4, the final heat race of the night, and the final 4 spots for tonight's feature out of heat race action is coming up next. It looks like it'll be the guy, the 37 car, Randall Carter, on the pole, and to his outside, it's the number 0 car of Kevin Dedman. Row number 2 on the inside, it's the 22 of Brandon Proudfoot, and on the outside, the 1 car of Austin Carr. Row number 3 on the inside, this guy comes in 3rd in the point standings. It's the 33 of Evan C. And at his outside is going to be the 51 car of Matt McKinney. And your final starter all by himself on the 4th row, starting 7th, the 23 of Jeremy Caprone.
And I think one of the big talking points of this race when we get to the closing, after the feature, is the fact that so many of our points leaders not qualifying particularly well. Blake Cannon didn't qualify great. Evan C. not qualifying great. Blake Matulis having to start deep in his heat race. Kevin Dedman qualified well in 7th, but this is going to be a great race for a lot of those guys who came into the race 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th in points to make up points on the like of Blake Cannon, the likes of Evan C. as well as they go for their second trip around the racetrack. That zero of Kevin Dedman, Chase, he's had some momentum the last couple of weeks, and the Dirty Grass Soul VLR car I think is going to be strong here tonight at Volusia when we get to the main.
Yeah, Kevin comes in tonight 7th in the point standings. He comes in behind Dylan Hauser, who is not in the field tonight. So Dedman will more than likely gain a spot here in the point standings if he has a good run. So Kevin Dedman, he's been in the top 5 or right around the top 5 almost every race this season. And he talked about it last week. He thinks he's on the verge of a win here with the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series.
The field works their way through down the back straightaway. Lucky number 7 for this heat race is going to be Jeremy Caprone. 2 of our 3 heat races thus far. The car who started 7th got themselves into the top 4 and transferred directly to the main. Green flag is out. Let's see what Jeremy can do as it's 37 of Randall Carter. He's going to get a single file out of the head of the field. They're 3 wide already for the bubble spots.
Yeah, good battle going on for the lead as well. Kevin Dedman going to work on Randall Carter. Carter to the middle of the racetrack. Dedman down low, 3 wide again at the back of the field. Contact between the 33 of C, the 1 car of Carr. Oh man, they almost get into the wall in the front straightaway. And here comes the 51 of Matt McKinney to the top side, trying to go around Carr for the transfer spot.
One of Austin Carr, though, goes back down to the bottom underneath the 33 of Evan C. as they fight for the bubble spot. That's the battle for 3rd and 4th. Behind the 23 of Jeremy Caprone. He started 7th. He's already up to 5th at the end of 2 laps of running. So 2 cars in 2 laps is a good pace for that number 23 car. At the head of the field, Carter and Dedman. They pretty much stagnated just a little bit, but here comes that 23. He's going to close in the fight between the 33 and the 1. Little bit of contact between Austin Carr and Evan C. and Caprone. He's going to fight for the transfer spot now.
Here he comes down to the inside, the 23 to the inside of the 33, almost contact right there into turn number 1. Can't count out the 51 of Matt McKinney, though. Down the back straightaway they go. Halfway home in this one coming around. 5 laps in and 3 to go at the start-finish line. Your leader is the 37 of Carter, then it's Dedman, Carr, C, and in 5th the 23 Caprone.
Still fighting in the 23 car, but he's lost a little bit of ground since he got side by side a moment ago. The 51 of Matt McKinney trying to hook something up. He's going to get underneath and get to run. The 23 of Jeremy Caprone, but can't quite hold on to it. He's going to fall back as the 1 of Austin Carr able to get a little bit of breathing room. The 33 of Evan C has been able to do so as well. The handful of laps remaining in this heat race coming to 2 laps to go, and Jeremy Caprone has fallen back just a little bit off the back of Evan C. I think he needs that 33 to make a mistake to be able to transfer here, and that 23 car looks like he's fighting tight.
Yeah, he definitely looks a little bit tight there in that 23 car. Cranking the wheel left on the entrance. Turn number 3 looks a little bit loose on the exit of the corner as well. So right now, if Caprone runs in that 5th spot, he'll start up front in a B main event, but he would much rather go right through the heat race to the feature event as they continue to battle behind him for that 6th spot. The 51 of McKinney and the 22 car of Brandon Proudfoot. Right now, Caprone looks like he's in trouble. Might not even be able to hang on to the 5th spot as they go side by side for that spot down the back straightaway. They're coming down to the checkered. Your winner will be the 37 of Carter. The 0 of Dedman will come home 2nd. Then it's Carr, C, and Caprone will hang on to the top 5 spot.
Matt McKinney and Brandon Proudfoot not very far behind in that one. The racetrack, it seems here, Chase, starting to, I think, slicken up a little bit or at least dry out. That bottom line is starting to look a little bit worse for wear as they currently sit. And actually, we're going to have a slight alteration to our usual schedule and what we generally get for the LCQ. So because of the number of cars, we're actually not going to be getting twin LCQs. We're going to get a single LCQ, and 4 cars will transfer. So the top 4 out of this B main go to the feature event tonight. A little bit of a change up with the number of cars, Chase. This is going to be, the LCQs tend to be dramatic in and of their own right already. They're about to line up 13 of these guys for 12 laps to fight for 4 spots.
I love it, man. That's how I think it should be. I mean, in real life, the Outlaws, man, they have a big B main. They only take 4 cars, the best of the best guys when they get out of these LCQs. And I think that's what we're going to see here is there's a couple of good guys coming from the back. It's going to be tough, but they've got 12 laps to try and get it done. So I'm a fan of the big B mains, Randy. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. It looks like Blake Brown will be on the pole, and alongside him, the 41 of Shad Prescott. Row number 2, the 007 of Jacob Fields, and the 23 car of Jeremy Caprone. 4th row, the 98 of Justin Thompson. Outside him, the 52 car James Edens. 4th row, the 18 of Austin Selman, and to his outside, the 51 car of Matt McKinney. Row number 5 will be Adam Elvey and Phil Diaz. Behind them, it's your points leader in row number 6, the 44 Blake Cannon. Outside him, the 22 car Brandon Proudfoot. and this guy's going to be on a mission. The 97 car of Garrett Robinson will start shotgun on the field in 13th.
As they currently roll out there on the racetrack, it is a big worry right now for that 44 of Blake Cannon. He starts this race in the 11th position, and he needs to get his way up to 4th, because the way the points format works for this event, the top 8 in qualifying get awarded points from 8 points down to 1, and then in your heat races, the winner gets 8 points, last place finisher, typically built for an 8-car heat, gets 1 point. So at the moment, the 44 of Blake Cannon, he's only obtained 2 points on the night, and if he does not transfer out of this LCQ, he will not get any more points on the evening, whereas the minimum for at least starting the feature is 30 points, if memory serves correctly. So this could be a championship ruining night for the 44 of Blake Cannon if he loses momentum halfway through the championship and doesn't make the feature here. The 77 of Blake Brown, he's going to be picking up the throttle in just a moment. The 41 of Shad Prescott to his right. We are green for 12 laps in the LCQ.
This is going to be an exciting one, Randy. Blake Cannon's going to be a man on a mission here. They're already 3 wide mid-pack between James Edens, Jeremy Caprone, and the 18 car of Austin Selman. They're battling right now for the 5th spot. 3 wide for the lead off turn number 4.
3 wide, the 77, the 41, and the 007. They're already in transfer spots, but they're not playing it safe. In towards corners number 1 and 2 now for the second time. The 007 of Jacob Fields working the bottom. A little bit of contact in the background. Some cars getting sent around. And he started deep in this LCQ, and the 44 of Blake Cannon has already gotten around a few cars. He dodges a bullet on the entry in towards turn 3 as cars make contact behind him. And Blake Cannon's going to find himself running 8th after 2 laps.
Yeah, Cannon slides in front of the 23 car, Jeremy Caprone. He loves what he's seeing in front of him. They almost go 3 wide again for the lead. They need to keep this up. That's the only way that Cannon's going to track him down. Your top 4 all over each other down the front straightaway. It looks like Brown, then the 007 of Fields, the 41 of Prescott, and right now in the 4th and final transfer is the 98 car, Justin Thompson, as they work down the back straightaway.
Not very far behind, though, you have the 52 of James Edens and the 18 of Austin Selman. They're side by side, trying to work that current bubble boy of Justin Thompson, who rolls in the 4th spot. The 52 of Edens trying to hook up the cushion on the outside, but can he get the momentum? It's been a very middle and bottom dominated racetrack, but the bottom line's going away. 3 wide for the transfer spot in towards turn number 3. Justin Thompson in the middle, trying to hang on to it. The 74 of Adam Elby lurking, and both the 18 and the 52 are going to put Justin Thompson in the rear view.
Yeah, contact between the 98 of Thompson, 18 car Selman. Here comes the 74 of Elby on the outside. He takes over 6th and now working on the 18 of Selman. Selman tried to slide in front of him, but Elby kept his foot in the throttle, and they go side by side for 5th right now down the front stretch. But James Edens in the 52 car is in the transfer spot. It looks like your top 3 have kind of calmed down a little bit. They know that if they get into each other, these guys behind them will track them down, and I think that they're just going to take it easy here for the rest of this race, Randy.
I think you're right. 5 laps to go in the last chance qualifier. Your points leader, who we've been monitoring, the 44 for Blake Cannon, he's gotten his way up to 8th, and he's sort of stagnated there, so he hasn't made much ground. Doesn't have a lot of laps and has a lot of cars in front of him. He still needs to get by. There's 3 before he's even eligible. Start passing for that transfer spot. Now it's 4 laps to go, and now he's going to throw a slider on the 98 in towards 1 and 2. An aggressive move for the 44 of Blake Cannon, but that's not going to pan out as the fight for the transfer spots continues. The 18 of Sullivan trying to close in on the 52 of Edens.
We've got a battle for the lead as well, Randy. The 41 car, Shad Prescott, is not settled for that 2nd spot. Blake Cannon makes a mistake, or it's not Blake Cannon, but the 77 of Blake Brown makes a mistake right there in turn 1, and Prescott takes the lead now. So Shad Prescott, we've seen him in the last couple of weeks. He does not settle for anything, man. We saw him at Eldora last week, got in a crash early, came all the way back just outside the top 5 by the end of the 50-lap feature, and Prescott wants to get his best starting spot that he can here in the feature event, so he has to pass, the least amount of cars that he has to here. So Prescott leads right now with Brown, Fields, and Edens, and they've broken away from the 5th place car of Austin Selman.
White flag this time off of quarter number 4, and your top 4 single filed out comfortably. It's the 18 of Austin Selman, who's hoping and praying that any of these guys make a mistake in front of him off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway and in towards 3 and 4. On the outside, James Edens, he wants to get one more spot, but isn't going to hook it up. Prescott will win the LCQ with Brown, Fields, and Edens. Those are the 4 that's going to transfer, but the story of the LCQ, your championship points leader will more or less come away from Volusia with a goose egg, and he is easily going to lose your championship points lead tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, but you can't count him out yet, Randy. We saw that Alex Bergeron, he was leading that 1 week where he ran dead last. I can't remember, was that last week, Randy? Remind me.
I believe so.
Yeah, last week where Bergeron ran dead last. So the championship points, guys, man, there's going to be at least one night throughout the season that something goes wrong. And tonight it was for Blake Cannon.
So as we take a peek at the finishing results from that LCQ, your top four, once again, that transfer: Prescott, Brown, Fields, and Edens. Everyone else on screen in that 13-car heat will not make it to the main event. We are going to step aside for a moment here on the iRacing Esports Network and catch our breath before the 50-lap feature tonight. Do not go away. The 50-lap main event of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Super Late Model iRacing Championship Series coming at you in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Race fans, you wanted the best? You've got them. Live on DirtVision.com. Presented by Dry D. The World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. The World of Outlaws, Morton Buildings Late Models. Knoxville Raceway and the Knoxville Nationals. And the Dirt Cars Summer Nationals are all available live. Sprint Car and Late Model Fast Passes are available now for just $39 a month, with single event subscriptions available as well. From Volusia to Charlotte, Fairbury to Lernerville, Eldora to Macon, and everywhere in between. Dirt Vision has you covered all season long. Every race, live, anywhere, anytime. Don't be left in the dust. Sign up for Dirt Vision today.
40 of the best sim racers. $100,000 on the line. Who will rise to the challenge? This is the most competitive and sought-after season in iRacing World Championship history. This is where legends are made. This is the Porsche Esports Super Cup.
Big drama here tonight at Volusia as we've come to the halfway point of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series here on iRacing and the iRacing Esports Network. And Chase, we have to say it, last week Blake Cannon in his interview, he came out, he said he thought he was the man to beat. He thought he was the one to really contend for this championship. He doesn't make the feature. Sometimes you got to put your money where your mouth is, and Blake didn't have much money to put in his mouth here this week at Volusia.
Yeah, tough night for Blake Cannon after running second here the last time at the season opener. Things go from, really good to really bad in a hurry tonight for Blake Cannon. But I was told, I think, down in the pit area, it sounds like that Blake Cannon was actually racing from somebody else's house, not his own here tonight. So maybe did not have his correct setup that he usually has, and that can really throw you off, Randy.
Yeah, it definitely can, as these guys are going to be getting themselves gridded up for the 50-lap main event. And for the $300 up top, $200 for second and $100 for third. Let's go down your 20-car starting grid for the second feature event we have here at Volusia this season. Out at the head of the field is going to be Dylan Fox on pole position. Comes from relatively deep in the points. Can he maybe start a good stretch here to the second half of this season and make a mid-season charge, as Alex Bergeron will start on the outside of that front row. Kendall Tucker came into this thing near the head of the points. He looks keen to maybe come away with the points lead here with Randall Carter on the outside of that second row. Howard Weaver and Tyler Schell, they're going to make up row number 3 with two more of our championship contending drivers we've been monitoring, the 127 of Blake Matulis and the 0 of Kevin Dedman. They will roll off 7th and 8th on that 4th row. Both have looked quick. Both have been a lot of fun to watch this season. Virgil Graham and Nick Cooper, they will round out your top 10 as we look back to Steven Wilson and Austin Carr on row number 6. Casey Kerwin and Brian Wayan Jr., both of them have come from the back this season. Most recently, Casey Kerwin at Eldora finishing 3rd when he was looking for a top 15. Zach Leonardi and Evan C. will make up row number 8. With all your transferees from the B main, Shad Prescott and Blake Brown on row number 9, and Jacob Fields and James Edens rounding out the 20-car field. It's a pretty spicy racetrack, Chase. Any predictions for this thing?
Man, I really want to predict that we will have another first-time winner in the series, just because that would be a great headline for iRacing. Dylan Fox on the pole has not won one of these races before. He's trying to make it 5 in a row of new winners here in this series, but he's got one of the best in the business. Alex Bergeron starting to his outside, so it's going to be a tough one, man. I think I'm also going to keep an eye on the 00 Kendall Tucker, who's been very good all season long, also looking for his first win of the season as well.
And not following warm-up procedure correctly. It's already drama for the 07 of Howard Weaver, who has not had a good run this season whatsoever with the officials. He did not follow warm-up procedure correctly. He will give up his top 5 starting position, and he has to start from the tail of the field. But at the head of the field, the 999 of Dylan Fox and the 12 of Alex Bergeron, they will be the ones bringing us to the green flag. The 999 in command of the field when the iRacing safety truck peels down on towards pit road. Put 50 laps on the board. We are green for the main event at Volusia.
What a start by the 999 of Dylan Fox. He'll jump out front, gets a little bit tight in the center, turns 1 and 2, and Bergeron closes back in on him. The 00 Kendall Tucker on the bottom of the racetrack already going to work. Side by side for second between the 00 Tucker and the 12 of Bergeron. Just behind them, they're also side by side, beating doors down the front straightaway. Yellow's out.
Where do you feel side by side as we get an early caution? Pace truck comes up right in front of the field, and I think Blake Brown may have been the car that brought out the yellow, but it really wasn't his fault whatsoever. The 52 of James Edens trying to run. They're just about 3 wide entering turn 3. The 07 of Jacob Fields carries a little bit too much steam into the corner and just taps the left rear of that 52 of James Edens, and not much James can do at that point. He gets sent up the racetrack and just tags that 77 car of Blake Brown, relatively light, and let's just say that was a clumsy incident there on the opening lap.
Yeah, definitely not the way we were hoping to start this one, but you know, a majority of these races so far this season, we've seen about 1 or 2 yellows, but we've always had a long green flag run. So maybe we'll get the 1 or 2 yellows out early here and have a good run to the finish.
Yeah, you're right. So these guys will pace for a couple laps behind the safety truck before we let them loose. Remember that typically in this championship, restarts are double file, but race control has the ability, if they so choose, if they see yellows likely to start stacking up, to single file them out. We saw that happen last time out at Eldora. The field looks like they're going to be setting up to go double file for this one. So race control will at least give them at least one more opportunity to make good on a double file restart here. Let's see if the lights go out on that iRacing safety truck, and if we're going to be going green next time through. We come across start finish, lights are out, we are green in a half mile.
Absolutely, man. So I'm glad that the iRacing guys let these guys try and have another, side-by-side start here. Dylan Fox is obviously your leader. He's led the first 4 laps if you count that under yellow. But Alex Bergeron starting outside him. Kendall Tucker, Randall Carter in the 2nd row. And in the 3rd row, it's Tyler Schell and the 127 of Blake Majulis. I didn't really talk about him in the pre-race, but Majulis, I think that's pretty dangerous for these guys, Randy. He starts way up front in this one. Usually he has to come from the back.
You're right, he's so comfortable from starting deep that maybe it's going to feel weird starting near that front of the field. Pace truck gets ready to come back down towards pit road. The 999 and Dylan Fox back in command of it. We are green now, working lap number 4, coming to lap 5 here at Volusia in towards turn 1. Bergeron going to lose the 2nd spot momentarily to the 00. Kendall Tucker is looking at your mid-pack. Everyone's jockeying for track position 3 wide in your mid-pack. I see that 127 involved in this. The 044 Tyler Schell up top, and it's Virgil Graham running the bottom as the O of Kevin Dedman. He's trying to get up there as well.
Good battle for the 2nd spot. Contact between Tucker and the 12 of Bergeron off turn number 2. Bergeron tags the wall off turn 2 right there. They're still side by side, but Tucker's getting aggressive here in this one on lap number 6. And Dylan Fox is loving what he's seeing behind him as they continue to go at it for 2nd.
Dylan Fox breaks away to a 0.6 of a second lead. 3 wide still behind. The 42 Virgil Graham. The 0 of Kevin Dedman and Tyler Schell up top. Trying to make it 4 wide is the 32, but the 044, he thinks better of it. Just keeps them to 3 wide. They stay 3 wide through 3 and 4. Nearly 3 by 3 is a 127, but Fuel's going to get back in line. The 32 of the 42 make contact. The 044 tries to make it 3 wide. I don't think there was a gap there, and we're going to pile them up on the back straightaway.
Yep, caution's out. Looks like the 007's involved. Also the 88, the 33, 3rd in the point standings. Evan C. gets involved in this one. Wow, a lot of stuff going on here as far as the championship's concerned. Wow.
It seems like we saved all of our drama with points runners from the sprint cars, and we're just cashing them in on the late models. We saw pretty much no major dramas for any of your championship contenders in the sprint car championship series. No one having issues with getting buried in deep in the field or DNFs, but this championship has been anything but, with points leaders missing the feature event. 3rd place in the points gets caught up and tangled in a bit of a mid-pack drama, and I think it's going to be pretty likely we see these guys roll off single file this time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, I'm going to mention it right now. Alex Bergeron, obviously, he's a great driver, but that guy has got so much luck on his side. It's unbelievable, Randy. Last week finishes dead last at Eldora, and this week, all the guys he's running against besides Kendall Tucker are not making the feature or they're getting crashed early on, man. It's crazy how this thing works out for him.
Yeah, absolutely right with that one. As I look for confirmation, and the answer I get is they're going to be starting 4 wide here. So thanks for Lewis Hewitt for the fabulous information. Looks like they're going to trust him and go back to 2 wide. So we'll probably this will be their final attempt if they can't clean it up a little bit. As just taking a look at some movers and shakers already. Look at that 32 is Steven Wilson chase. Rolled off 11th. He already sits 6th. We're only 10 laps into this thing. Casey Kerwin goes from 13th back to all the way up to 8th. So things looking good for drivers starting in your mid-pack and moving their way in toward the top 10.
Yeah, obviously, that's great for, Steven Wilson, man. We haven't really talked about him a whole lot. Hasn't made all the features this year. Came into the points pretty far back. He's having a solid run right now, just outside the top 5. He starts 6th right here for this restart on the outside of Kevin Dedmon. So, Wilson, man, this just goes to show you how many more of these guys are able to win these races. There's a couple guys up front right now we haven't talked about all season long that have a shot at this one right now.
Lights are out on the safety truck. We're going back to green flag racing this 9. The 999 of Dylan Fox has been good on the restarts thus far, and we are green as they come off to turn number 4. And Bergeron trying to fight on the outside, but he can't maintain the overlap. The 999 will get single file as they roll through 1 and 2. Look at him still jockeying for position up and down the field.
Yeah, Dylan Fox has had some really good restarts so far tonight, man. He seems to pull out to a good couple car length advantage, but Bergeron already roping him back in. Here comes the 00 Tucker back down to the inside. Still a lot of laps to go. Looks like 35, at least 36 laps to go in this one. So still a lot of time to feel your car out, feel what this racetrack's going to do. So these guys are going to take it easy, hopefully, for a couple laps here. We can get them a little bit strung out and hopefully have a lot less cautions here.
Running in third right now, the 00 of Kendall Tucker coming into this race second in the points. He's trying to maximize on the 44. Blake Cannon's misfortune here. The 12 of Bergeron runs well up the racetrack. Exiting turn 2, nearly finds the wall. The 00 of Kendall Tucker nearly follows him in the 0 of Kevin Dedmon. He's going to run the bottom. Everyone's starting to move up the racetrack just a little bit as the 37 of Randall Carter. He's going to try to stay side by side with Kevin Dedmon. Won't quite be able to do so. A little bit of contact behind as the 1 of Austin Carr. He got onto Steven Wilson, who was fighting with Blake Matulis in the 127.
Slowly but surely, the 0 car of Kevin Dedmon's making his way to the front here. He started about around the 10th spot. He's up to 4th now. The 0 car, every single week, man, he ends up in the top 5, and that's exactly what you need to do to win one of these championships. But I know the one thing that's on Dedmon's mind here tonight is a big W in the column right now. Kevin Dedmon doing everything he can right now on the bottom of the racetrack to get up to the front.
12 of Bergeron as well. He's reeled that 999 and Dylan Fox back in, and we're starting to see Bergeron run the line. He's so comfortable doing up top. We know that traditionally in the sprint cars, Donnie Schatz likes to run the bottom, but the 12 of Bergeron, in both the sprints and the late models, he loves being right up against the outside wall. He'll lose a little bit of ground to the 999 this time as he goes down the racetrack a little bit, but running a bit of a slider line through the middle of the racetrack up into the outside wall.
Yeah, Dylan Fox that last time by was a 10th faster than Bergeron, so Fox on the bottom is making some pretty good time. We know it. We've seen it here many times at Volusia. By the end of this race, the top of the racetrack comes in, and that's where Bergeron's going to be. He'll be the first one to find it, and the first one to be making up time up there. Looks like Kendall Tucker's now migrated up there as well behind him in the 3rd spot, with Dedmon and Carter rounding out the top 5.
The 00 and the 12 really running identical lines. This time, though, the 00, he just runs the middle and really diamonds off the exit of turn 4. Fight for, I believe this is 9th on the racetrack. The 044 and the 14. That's Tyler Schell and Casey Kerwin. They're currently nose to tail and nearly side by side of the 14 of Kerwin. Trying to set up the move here down the back straightaway in towards 3 and 4. He's going to nose ahead. Gives them a little bit of a shove, and they're going to get tight. The 07 of Howard Weaver, by the way, he started this race from the end of the longest line. He's nearly got his way up in towards the top 10 as we're not even halfway.
Yeah, how about the 41 car in that mix as well? The guy that won the B-main event, Shad Prescott, just outside the top 10 in that 41 car, just like we saw him last week at Eldora, man. He came from the back, ended up right around the top 5. He looks to the outside of Tyler Schell for the top 10 position. Schell back to the bottom, Prescott up top. He's going to follow that 14 of Kerwan down the back straightaway.
Down the back straight, the 07 car trying to set up a move here, but the doors slammed shut by the 044 and the 41 ahead of him. Casey Kerwin able to get cleared and going to try to start reeling in that 32 is Steven Wilson out in front. But look at the 044 of Tyler Schell, so close to the side of Shad Prescott. The bulk of the field goes to the bottom. The 41 of Prescott up top, though, and it's not going to do him many favors. The 044 will just about get clear into 3, but look at the way he carries momentum into turns 3. That 41 car is Shad Prescott. A lot of grip starting to form up top in 3 and 4.
I was just about to say that, Randy. I was watching the lap times that last time by, and Bergeron on the top is tracking down your leader, Dylan Fox. He's not picking up a whole lot of time, but it's enough to be closing the gap a little bit. Now Fox switches his lineup, runs the middle of the racetrack right there. Bergeron running the slider line. So a lot of different lines being displayed here at Volusia Speedway Park for these World of Outlaws Morton Billings late models, man. It's about to get good up front between the 999 and the 12 of Bergeron.
And it's not just Alex we need to watch. 2 laps in a row, Kendall Tucker was the quickest of the top 3 on the lap times. This trip through, he's going to falter just a little bit. He will be the slowest of the top 3, but only by 0.04 of a second. Your top 3 all separated by 0.04 in terms of lap time. Alex is there on the 999, but you just see the line he's running. He's not able to maintain that momentum off the corner as we're now officially past halfway.
Yeah, Dylan Fox, this is where you got to really be looking in your rearview mirror and figuring out where that 12 car is better than you, because, you know, that 12 car, we've seen it in the past. He makes a move, and once he gets by you, there's no getting back by him. So I know Fox's spotter's telling him right now behind him that Bergeron's running a little bit better lap times. Now Fox moves up the racetrack right there in 1 and 2 a little bit. Bergeron almost into the wall down the back stretch, but tags the cushion real nice right there. Goes back to the top in 3 and 4, almost side by side up front for the lead on lap number 28.
Just can't quite get there, though. Alex just can't maintain the momentum and get the run off the corner and the speed mid-corner for the 12 of Bergeron, though. He's closing on that 999 car. Seems like the bottom is still where that pace is, but Alex still trying to fish for it. Going to slide again right through that slick stuff, right up to the nice tacky dirt up there on the cushion, but that gives the 999 about a car width. But Alex is putting so much pressure on this 999 of Dylan Fox right now.
Yeah, insert the 00 of Kendall Tucker back into the mix as well. They're all separated by about 2, make that 5 car lengths between your top 3. Tucker still running faster lap times than your leader. The fastest of the 3 of them, though, is the 12 of Bergeron, working on lap number 31 right now. Still 19 laps to go, and that's a lot of time to make up here. These guys, anything can happen here in these last 19 laps, and I don't think that lap traffic's going to play a factor here tonight.
Don't think so. We don't traditionally see lap traffic really be too much of an issue for these guys. Everyone just so equal on pace. The whole championship so competitive. Right now we still have all 20 cars out there running. The bulk of the field, 19 cars separated by 10 seconds on the racetrack. And then James Eden's the only one who's dropped back a little bit. He's got damage on that number 52. The 12 of Bergeron going to get a little bit loose coming off of 4, but it seems like he's able to set up a better run that time. Doesn't lose ground to the 999 coming off the corner through 1 and 2. Aggressive once again on the entry, but just slow on the exit into 12.
Yeah, he's got to try something different, I think, Randy, if he wants to get by that 999 of Dylan Fox. The fastest car on the racetrack that last time by the way, is a 0 car of Kevin Dedman. Ran in 2 compared to the rest of these guys up front are running 3. So Dedman is on the move in the 0 car, but does he have enough time? 16 laps to go. And the battle up front, it looks like it's now about to be a 2-horse race between the 999 and the 12. The 00 of Kendall Tucker's really falling out of the mix now, in my opinion, Randy, is this, the 12 car Bergeron. Man, still working the car length off the back bumper of him.
He's so close. I think Alex needs to just run that bottom line through 3 and 4. I think the top is good through 1 and 2, but I think you need to be down low at this end of the racetrack. If you look at the way he gains ground, but just look what he loses all through corner number 4. That's where his time loss is at the moment, and what's keeping him from setting up this pass. Through 1 and 2 once again, he makes up the ground on the top side, able to get a good run down the back straightaway, but actually Dylan Fox, he hooks up the slick stuff really well. Alex tags the wall and entry in towards 3 as we're inside of 15 to go.
And this is where it's starting to get heated right now. When does Bergeron make the move? Does he throw him a slider down here in one of these corners? It looks like it's not going to be able to happen, though, because Fox running in the middle of the racetrack. There's no way the 12 car will be able to clear a slide job. He's going to have to drive around him. If Alex Bergeron wants to win this thing, he's going to have to come get it, because the 999 of Dylan Fox is putting up one hell of a fight right now.
But Alex is not letting him get away. He's going to be a little bit lower in towards 1 and 2 this time. One a little bit more traditional of a slider line, but look at the ground lost. On off of corner 2 and down the back straightaway once again. Cars starting to migrate up to the top side. The 999 of Dylan Fox has left that inside wall in 3 and 4. The 00 of Kendall Tucker, he's running the middle in 3 and 4 as well. So really pretty much just slick stuff down on the bottom at the moment. As the 12 of Bergeron still trying to work the 999. Fox and set up a Don't really have any other fights up and down the field. Couple close gaggles with the 14 of Kerwin. He's fighting with Jacob Fields, but it's really this fight for the lead that's the close one.
Yeah, absolutely, and the most important one on the racetrack at that, Randy. There's one lap car they need to deal with. It's a 52 car, James Edens. He works down the backstretch just in front of your leaders. I'm sure Edens will give him plenty of room to get by. He does not want to have any kind of issues and be suspended for a couple more races here. The 52 car going to get out of the way here, no problem. 9 laps to go for Dylan Fox. Alex Bergeron tries the slider line once again in 1 and 2. Trying to track him down, and man, Fox really gaps him down the backstretch right there.
He's just got so much traction coming off the corner at the moment. The 999 of Dylan Fox, he's caught that lap car of James Edens, but hasn't quite been able to put him in the rear view just yet. There is another tight fight, by the way, just ahead of these guys. That'll be more lap traffic. They're about a straightaway back from it at the moment, but if they manage to get there, this is going to change everything.
Wow, that's huge right to the 14 car. Kerwan, last week's 3rd place finisher, looks like he was involved. I did not quite see what happened. I'm trying to go through the replay. It looks like something happened with him in the 33 car of Evan C. That's the 2nd incident tonight for Evan C. So not a good night for him in the championship as he gets turned around there with the 14 of Kerwan and the 42 Virgil Graham was right there as well.
I'd love to see that replay on board of the 42 of Virgil Graham, because Virgil, he kind of sent it into turn 3, saw that incident happen, had to pitch that car sideways, and it was like something out of a Ken Block, Jim Connor video, the way that he had to sort of just about eke past here. Watch as you see that 14 car spin in front of him, and he just eats around the 33 and the 14 after they spin out. So good driving there to avoid that incident and prevent it from becoming something even bigger. But a late race restart here is going to be a big change up for everything. Now Alex Bergeron, if he can just time this restart, Chase, he might have an opportunity, and we've seen him time the restarts in the past.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, man. And I think that we know with this yellow, these guys to calm down a little bit. They know it's going to be a quick dash to the end. And Kendall Tucker, I was watching his lap times those last couple of laps while those guys pulled away. Once they got about 10 car lengths ahead, Tucker was running some better lap times than them. So I think we might have a 3-car battle for the lead these last couple of laps. And how about the run right now for the 1 car of Austin Carr from 12th up to the 5th spot right now? He might be a factor at the end of this one.
Austin's been our big mover thus far, I think, of all the cars out on the racetrack. A couple of others that have moved up more positions, but they started deeper in the field. For the most part, though, everyone that's kind of had a good run up towards the head of the field has gotten caught up in some incidents. Looks like it's going to be a single file restart here when we go back to green flag racing. That's not going to be good news for Alex Bergeron. He wanted that side-by-side fight to be able to make that work. So the single file out with 5 laps left to go here, Chase. Bergeron is not going to have a lot of opportunities, and I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe gives that 999 a bumper if he gets the opportunity to do so. We're coming to the green.
Yeah, absolutely. Bergeron loves winning these races, man. He's trying to add another $300 into his back pocket. Here we go. The final 5 laps from Volusia Speedway Park is back to green. Dylan Fox with a good start. Gaps Bergeron by about a car length. Here comes the 00 of Kendall Tucker around the bottom. Man, Bergeron nearly got into the back bumper right there of your race leader. And now Tucker to the inside of Bergeron for second.
Fight for the race win, might be gone for the 12, and he might have to hold on a second. The 00 of Kendall Tucker is there. The 0 of Kevin Dedman, he's latched onto the back of the 00 as well. In towards 1 and 2, they all try the bottom. The 00 is going to slide up to the cushion. The 12 will run the middle, sort of run the Dylan Fox line, but did he wait too long to maybe try it? 3 laps to go, they're off of 4.
Yep, 3 laps to go, and here comes the 0 car of Kevin Dedman now to the inside of the 00 of Tucker. 3-car battle for second, almost 3 wide for second. Contact right there between the 0 and the 00. Now the 1 car of Austin Carr splits the difference down the back straightaway. Austin Carr from 12th up to 4th now.
2 laps remaining at Volusia as they come off turn 4. 3 wide for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Austin Carr up top. He's going to have the $100 3rd place running spot at the moment, but will he hold on to it through 1 and 2? The 00 of Kendall Tucker runs the bottom, but can't quite hook it up as we get a caution, and that might just end it.
I think that will end as they're coming around for the white flag right here, and it looks like Dylan Fox is going to be credited. If I'm not mistaken, he will be credited with this victory here tonight, I believe, Randy.
Yep, he will. The 07 of Howard Weaver and the 41 of Shad Prescott get involved. They also can tangle with the 33, but it's going to be Shad Prescott who is really the big loser there. But the big winner tonight, after 50 laps of racing, it'll be the first time in the World of Outlaws World Championships this year that we don't end it under green. But Dylan Fox behind the safety truck, he will get himself a $300 purse for winning here tonight, and a big points gain on everyone as he takes victory at the halfway point of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model iRacing Championship Series here at Volusia.
Man, and that makes it 5 winners in 5 races. I'm telling you, I need to become a palm reader, Randy. I called it earlier on when they're on the grid. And once again, we have it happen here. So, man, this is just an exciting series. It just goes to show how tough it is to win in this series. Austin Carr, man, I'm going to be watching him these next couple weeks as well. He goes from 12th up to 3rd tonight. So, a lot of great stories in this one.
Chase Rodman, maybe the palm reader, predicting it at the start of the race that the pole sitter and the winner of this heat race is going to win this thing. But it's going to be that 999 car who's going to be very, very happy. But I think a lot of other happy faces as well. Bergeron making up points on the 44. Kevin Dedman making up points on the 44. The 00 of Kendall Tucker make up points on the 44. Even Blake Matulis as well. As we'll take a look at your full race results. It is going to be the Dirt Racing Team driver of Dylan Fox. He takes victory here tonight at Volusia, and Alex Bergeron will finish second once again. I believe his second place finish this far this year. Austin Carr will finish 3rd with Kevin Dedman in 4th, and Kendall Tucker will round out that top 5. Blake Matulis will be in 6th. With Steven Wilson 7th, Randall Carter 8th, Jacob Fields 9th, and Howard Weaver from the back of the field. He will finish inside of your top 10. Evan C. will round out this race in the 11th spot. Zach Leonardi in 12th, Virgil Graham 13th, Tyler Shell 14th, and Blake Brown will round out your top 15 with Nick Cooper, Brian Wayant Jr., James Edens, Casey Kerwin, and Shad Prescott rounding out the 20-car field of the event here tonight. 50 laps of fantastic racing action, and I'm going to be honest, Chase, I just can't wait for the points to get updated to see who's going to be leading this thing. I suspect it might be, it'll probably be Kendall Tucker, but I think Bergeron's not going to be very far back from the 00 in terms of points.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, with especially and also with, Majulis running up there inside the, ran 6th right there. So it's going to be a 3-car breakaway, I think, here for the championship. I don't think our race winner right there, Dylan Fox, is going to be too close. He came in 9th in the standings tonight. So, but like you said, I'm already hitting the refresh button, waiting for these points to update. I just want to see how far back Blake Cannon really gets hit right here, with not even making tonight's feature. We haven't really seen that this year, so I'm really interested to see where Cannon will end up. I think he's gonna be probably around the 5th, maybe 6th spot here. So yeah, I'm refreshing the page right now, trying to see what the points look like.
I think your prediction is pretty much spot on. I'm thinking 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in that zone. But the big story is that he's going to lose a ton of points compared to the likes of Tucker and even the likes of Bergeron as well. We're still waiting to get the 999 to Dylan Fox, your race winner, in here for his post-race interview. But someone we do have on hand is that 12 car of Alex Bergeron. And we now have him. Alex, what a run from you today. You put in another solid night of racing here in these World of Outlaws World Championships. Unfortunately, you just got stuck running second all night. The racetrack really single grooved up for the main event. I'm sure that has to be frustrating sitting behind that 999 like that. It looked like you had speed up until about midway when everyone kind of just equalized out when the track slicked off.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we had a good run. It's a good night for points. The car went away there at the end. I just hoped that Kendall wouldn't go by us. But we stayed second. Congrats to Dylan Fox for the win tonight. And we were fast. The car was real good, and was pretty much. It was only 2 lines really. Either slider line or middle. So it was real tough for sure. But I'm happy since last week we had a tough night. We grabbed second tonight.
Yeah, man, what a great race that was. I mean, you guys were so close. Seemed like you guys were a car length separated for a majority of the race. Really no passes for the lead, but a good race nonetheless. On that last restart, were you pretty disappointed when it became a single file restart there inside the 5-lap mark?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was going to be double file, so I was pumped up about that. It was pretty much my only chance to get by him again, but. At the same time, it was safer, for, keeping our position, and I think we need to look at it that way.
Well, Alex, for you, it's going to be a great run for this one, of course, with you saying not wanting Kendall Tucker to get around you mostly for the point situation. I think will likely be second in the points either way, and I don't want to jinx it by getting it in your head, but you're currently sitting in a position potentially to be the first driver in iRacing history to win 2 world championships in the same year as we're halfway. How does that weigh on you as we come towards the second half of this season?
It could be like that. We never know, but I look at like just one race at a time. We got to focus on good qualifying runs, and every lap matters. That's the trick. Every lap matters, and you got to do the right moves at the right time. And We still have 5 races to go, and we just gotta keep hitting our marks and having good qualifying runs. And Kokomo is going to be definitely the hardest one for us. I know Kokomo isn't my best track, so we need to work on that. And we never know how it can go, but hopefully we can grab a good championship again.
Congratulations once again, Alex, on the strong second place run. Who gets it done for that Team ABR number 12?
Well, as always, my Team ABR, Jason Nigara, my girlfriend, my partners, Newbie.com, Sunshine Kinis, BK Designs for all the iRacing paints. Thanks, bub. CSI Chalks, Max McLaughlin Racing, Murray Inc., all the fans out there for watching, my dad for watching, everybody else, iRacing and Wall of Outlaws for putting this series up. It's fun to be part of this, and it's a pleasure as well. And you guys for broadcasting.
There he was, ran second tonight, did the 12 car of Alex Bergeron, and the driver who comes away with the big win is going to be the 999 of Dylan Fox, who we finally get a hold of. And as we have a chat with him, Dylan, you came into this race 9th in the points, the first handful of races, not going quite perfectly the way you would have wanted, but you pick up a big win here at the race that brings us to half distance through this championship already. Big win tonight. You think you can make a late season charge, potentially get yourself as a contender for the championship?
Yeah, we definitely can. A lot of it's about qualifying, and like you said, I haven't had the best of luck the last couple weeks, so we tried something different and set the car up for like the bottom middle, and hopefully avoid some of the wrecks, and it worked out in our favor tonight.
Well, next week this series heads to Kokomo, and that's, in my opinion, it's kind of like throwing a duck in a goose pond, man. I just feel like it doesn't really fit in with the rest of these tracks. What is your opinion heading into Kokomo next week?
Personally, I don't really like the track that much. Just, it kind of races similar to Eldora. When it's pretty tacky, it races okay. But, after a while, when it gets slick and the cushion builds up, it goes pretty single file. So, I think I'm just going to try to, run the middle. And, even if I have to settle for a 10th and keep myself out of the wrecks, that's what I'm going to do. And, just try to get the best finish we can.
Running in this championship, you talk about the fact that you maybe not a big fan of Kokomo, but running in this series in general, what's important to really getting yourself good results? Of course, speed and qualifying. You talked about the importance of qualifying. What are sort of the other intangibles that maybe go into this thing and having good nights of racing?
I think you got to take some risks. That's the biggest thing. Everybody's so close in speed. You got to take a risk and try to do something different than the rest of these guys. Like, I knew tonight that it was going to go probably slider line in 1 and 2, similar to the first race. So I figured, I'm just going to try to run the middle and do something different to what everybody else is. And, it paid off for me.
Thanks for joining us, Dylan, and congratulations on an amazing race win tonight. That 999 dirt car was absolutely flawless, easily the most dominant car on the racetrack that we saw, especially once that track slickened up after about 25 laps of racing. Before we let you go, who gets it done for everyone at dirt and that 999 car?
Yeah, I just got to thank all my teammates at DNRT, especially Clay Devin this week. He's been helping me with the setups the last couple weeks, and the thing was dialed in. So, and Eddie Livingston for spotting me tonight. Supermoon Graphics, Showtime Graphics. That's about it.
There he was, your race winner of Dylan Fox. $300 richer after this one, and potentially setting himself up for a mid-season charge in the points. We always, have one, it feels like, every single week, and the driver who comes from deep in the field to finish on the podium and make himself $100 richer is going to be the number 1 of Austin Carr. And as we get a hold of him, Austin, you started deep in this thing in 12th. I think maybe a little bit of benefit a little bit from some of the incidents, but definitely rough racing back there as the right rear of that car, a little bit banged up. Taught me through running through the mid-pack here on what was a very slick Volusia for the feature.
Yeah, it's tough running through there, especially when you're in the middle like that, but you just got to pick and choose basically where you want to go. And I was just trying not to be too aggressive and just keep my head right and just make moves. And when the track gets slick like that, man, I just love it, and I come to life, and hopefully all the tracks are like this the rest of the season.
Well, man, coming from deep like that, it's pretty incredible. And, you know, this track tonight it seemed like it was tough to pass. I mean, we got Bergeron up there. He wasn't able to pass, you know, Fox the whole race. And it seemed like you were one of the guys that were really making the moves. What was so much different? What were you doing different than these guys to really get by them?
I was just running where they weren't. And luckily, Volusia, this is probably my best track on the game. And I can pretty much maneuver around here anywhere. And everybody was either caked up top, and then half the people were spinning their tires in the bottom, and I was just right there through the middle, just taking my time. And this track, man, everyone's so close in speed. You can't really gain on anybody. You can't lose time, and you just got to make and wait for people to make mistakes. That's pretty much it.
We have the high banks of Kokomo coming next week. We had a fantastic race at Limaland. What do you think we're going to see out there at Kokomo?
Well, it's going to be interesting. We didn't go there last year, and I mean, this time last year is when I caught heat and I started winning races. So hopefully we go to Kokomo. We actually put in the time and effort, man. You got to put in time on here. You're just going to struggle like I have the whole first part of the season. But Kokomo is going to be interesting. I honestly don't think I've ever ran a race in a late model there, so I guess we're going to find out how it goes. And it's probably going to be closer to like Eldora-ish, unless it gets, I think the slicker that track's going to get, I think it's going to be the better it will be. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out.
Well, Austin, before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 1 Elite 7 Racing Super Late model?
I got to thank everybody over at Elite 7. It's been a heck of a pro series so far, and we're going to try and get it all dialed in. But I got to thank Drew, Jacob, Dan, John for all they do. Firstly, I think 5 Knuckle Wraps, True Form Race Products, Shop Quick, CJ18 Motorsports, and I also got to thank Dirt Draft. Everyone go check it out. It's a cool little app out there. We'll see you next week.
So there he was. Austin Carr finishes 3rd on the podium, and he'll take $100 away after this one here tonight. Next driver we have in line is another driver we've actually gotten into the habit of talking to, it seems like, every single week. And Kevin Dedman is now joining us. Kevin, it's good to see you for our what's becoming our weekly ritual of a post-race interview. Congratulations on another solid 4th place run.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I'd like to improve it. I think this is 3 fourths in a row. I'd like to get in that top 3 and get a podium finish, but I'll take a 4th.
Yeah, man, and the points just got updated, and you've moved into the top 5, and I'm not very good at math right now, but it looks like you're probably around 45 points out of the lead, so you've got a pretty good shot at this thing, I'd say.
Yeah, man, that's exciting, and I was, like I said, last week was kind of the week where I was out of town, and I was able to, salvage something last week. My wife was kind enough to let me take the sim rig, and so I was worried about that, and now that we're back in the groove of it and I should be able to make the rest of the races, I hope I can, have a solid finish to the rest of the season.
Are your sponsors calling?
Yeah, man. I guess that was somebody calling telling me I had a good race. I don't know.
I feel like that's the ringtone half of the population on Earth has, because it seems to be a popular one. But regardless, Kevin, you've looked so strong in this. How was the strong finishes and getting the name of your music out there? And do you know if you've had any bumps on maybe the likes of some sort of music streaming websites on from all the good finishes you've been getting for Bluegrass?
Yeah, man, I hope so. Actually, we'll be performing down at the World Finals. We're still working out the details of that, but last year we actually played the World of Outlaws World Finals down at Charlotte on Friday or Saturday night. I can't remember, but in the NHRA pavilion down there. So y'all have to come check it out, and it ought to be a great time. I love dirt track, and our music goes hand in hand, I feel like. So.
Well, it definitely seems that way, especially with your ability to run in this series, Kevin. Congratulations on another top 5. Before we let you go, who gets it done for the Team VLR number 0?
Yeah, man, I want to give a special shout out to Team VLR and my buddy Evan C. He had another tough night, but he helped get me up to speed without a lot of practice time this week. I wasn't able to have, so he got me up to speed pretty quick and full throttle performance. Daniel and all the guys over there. Our band Dirty Grass Soul, obviously check us out on all the streaming platforms, YouTube and all that. Slide Job Ranch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And those guys, Capron Screen Printing, and Jameson Colbridge with CNC Racing Designs on a cool paint scheme he'd made for me. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for doing a great job with the broadcast.
Nice
Well, you're
job.
more than welcome for that, Kevin. Congratulations again on another strong finish. And the last person we're going to talk to, and maybe at the moment, probably one of the most important people in the series, and certainly the happiest, because after a 5th place finish tonight, Kendall Tucker will come out of Volusia at the halfway point as the series points leader. Kendall, how are you feeling about that when you currently sit 15 points ahead of Bergeron? Great run for you with Blake having bad luck.
Yeah, I hate that for Blake. He's been on the road with the Southern Nationals tour this week, and he ran at a buddy's house tonight, and he was having some steering wheel issues, so he wasn't able to get that sorted out. So I hate that for him, but just we had a good run right there. I mean, we were a 3rd place car, I feel like, for the entire race. I mean, we were just like last week, just neck and neck right there in lap times. Just gotta learn to be more consistent and tighten this thing up a little more, and I could have had something for him right there, but I left it all out there, and just that last restart obviously didn't help. There was some pretty big net code between me and Kevin right there. That's not his fault at all. Just a fault in the game right there. So we'll move on. We was able to salvage a 5th out of that. So and the points lead too. So just trying to pick away at these points right here. We got behind early, so top 5. You can't really hang your head on that too much.
So you've kind of moved your way up in the point standings all season long, and now you're finally at the top. Does that does that really change your mindset from here on out? Do you really do you race smarter now, or are you going to go even harder after, taking the points lead here tonight?
I just got to keep doing what I've been doing, man. The formula to this stuff is just qualifying good and winning your heat. And like I said, just 3rd place car all night, and that restart didn't help, but we'll just keep plugging away at it, and just hopefully keep putting in these good qualifying times, and we'll keep racing smart and aggressive too. I know Bergeron, he's gonna give it all he's got, so I got to be on my game these next 5 weeks, and if we can continue this.
Well, we asked Blake last week, and he came out and said he was the one to beat in the series, and he immediately came out and didn't make the feature race. So I'll ask the same question to you. Maybe think better of it before you jinx yourself. Who's currently, you think, you sit as the points leader halfway through, who do you think is your currently your big competition through these next 5 races to put a crown on this championship?
I think anybody in the top 7 right now. I mean, Fox, he's about 60 points back, so I mean, that's... I had a bad night, I mean, he'd be right there again if he was able to have a good finish like he did tonight. So hopefully just keep having consistent runs, man. Just keep this thing as close to the front as we can, and we're trying hard for wins. Just missing it on the setup here and there just a little bit. So just like I said, just can't hang my head on a 5th place finish tonight.
Well, congratulations once again, Kendall, on a strong finish and coming away here after 5 races with 5 to go with that points lead. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that Swindell Speeds Lab Esports 00?
Yeah, just got to thank all my guys at Speed Lab. As a team, we didn't really have that good of a night tonight, but we'll all rebound next week, and we'll be at it at Kokomo. But I just got to thank Kevin Swindell for he was on the spotter stand tonight. So I mean, I can't really think of a better person to be giving me information. So, I mean, we was right there them first 40 laps, so we'll just plugging away at it next week. And like I said, just got to thank all my sponsors and partners, just all the guys at Speed Lab, like I said, CBD Wiser Organics, Bell Helmets, Jeff Brown with iRacing, Not Flag, everything he does for me, and Jim Ehrman with Supermoon Graphics for keeping this thing looking good. And like I said, thanks to all the guys at World of Outlaws and iRacing, and Rod and Randy. Thank you for the broadcast. Looking forward to going back and watching it.
There he was, Kendall Tucker, your 5th place finisher tonight, and comes away with the championship lead as we head in towards Kokomo next week. And, well, Chase, he mentioned that he had Kevin Swindell, and Swindell's a good name to have on the box, just even last name in general, especially with Sammy being able to come out last week, basically out of retirement, and put the thing on the pole at Eldora.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't know if Kevin's the best guy to have on the box when it comes to late models, but obviously it was working for Kendall tonight as he comes home. Should have been a 3rd, but a top 5, and I'm sure Kevin's pretty happy, man. It's awesome to see how involved he gets here with the sim racing stuff.
Yep, championship points you see on the left-hand side of your screen, and Kendall Tucker 15 points clear of Alex Bergeron. Evan C. will be the one who settles into 3rd, but he shouldn't feel too settled as only 1 point back. You get Blake Matulis, then a few more points down the way. Kevin Dedman and Blake Cannon in 6th, Dylan Fox 7th, and Dylan Hauser rounding out that top 8. And look at how far you fall just for missing that feature race there, Chase, all the way down to 6th place in points from the championship points lead for Blake Cannon. I think he came into this race with 283 points, and I think he walks away with 285. That's a disaster coming to midway.
Yeah, that's about as bad as it gets, man. Those 2 points that he got, I think that was from the heat race, maybe? I don't even know. But, I mean, it was just an absolutely dismal night. Like Kendall said, though, you know, Blake is out running in real-life races. He's running at people's houses. He doesn't get his steering wheel set up correctly. I mean, it's just an overall disaster of a night for Blake Cannon, but I'm sure he'll be back next week, hungrier than ever.
And then something to tie in with the Real Series before we go away. Mr. Greg Hill, who's one of the art directors at iRacing, was kind enough on Twitter to take a peek and give us a sneak peek of the new track they're currently working on. The next dirt track we will see come to the iRacing service next season will be Fairbury Speedway, and that's fitting, Chase, because this weekend the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings late models, they'll be heading to that same racetrack for the Prairie Dirt Classic at Fairbury Speedway. So we see the Real Series go there, and we'll have that track on the sim to run here in just a few short weeks.
Yeah, Falls, what they call it, man. That's a pretty awesome joint for modified and late model racing. I've seen some pretty incredible sprint car racing too there this year. The World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series was awesome, man. Kyle Larson and a couple other guys, Brad Sweet, were getting after it there earlier this year. So it's going to be an all-around great track for the series. I can't wait for it to come out and have it here on these World Championship Series deals.
Well, after a fantastic night of racing, that is going to wrap things up for us here on the iRacing Esports Network for the 5th round of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series here at Volusia. The second half of the season coming at you, and things are going to start heating up with the likes of Kendall Tucker, Alex Bergeron, Kevin Dedman, Blake Cannon, and everyone else fighting for this $25,000 championship, $10,000 to the winner once we get 10 races into this thing. Next week, we will come to the fast quarter mile, High Banks quarter mile at Kokomo. Lima Land, a very similar racetrack, put on a great show. Be sure to watch that, as things are going to be amazing for the 6th round of this championship. But until we see you all next time, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.